One of my favorite platforming games of all time is Shovel Knight, and Yacht Club Games has done a fantastic job at expanding this franchise. I have been eyeing Pocket Dungeon for quite some time, and I always felt like it was going to be on mobile eventually because it seemed too perfect for the platform. And here we are, I finally got to play it on mobile. What do I think of it? Let's get right into it. First off, Pocket Dungeon has the same personality and charm that I've come to love about Shovel Knight. This has great pixel art, it has smooth animations, the sound design is catchy, and I love the humor of Shovel Knight as a whole, and that humor is here in Pocket Dungeon. It's a relief to see, and man is it so good. Unlike the original Shovel Knight, Pocket Dungeon is a match 3 puzzle game. You still play as Shovel Knight, and you can maneuver around the board in order to make matches of enemies or of items. However, unlike Bejeweled, for instance, this is not a turn-based affair. Everything is falling from the top of the screen in real time, and you have to make decisions on the fly in order to keep the board clear and from filling up. So you have to do everything in a timely manner while also thinking things through and trying to match together as big of combos as possible. In order to match or clear the board of enemies, you have to attack them, but they can also attack you. So you need to be aware of your health at all times and pick up health potions when needed. And you have to strategize on which types of enemies to attack and in what order. It really mixes things up, and the game is good at slowly introducing new enemies and mechanics into the mix. There are also keys that will drop from the top of the board, and you can collect them in order to open up chests or get into new areas. And these chests can have items that will help you out, including new attack styles that will help you clear the board of enemies and things like that. What I love about this gameplay loop is that it has a risk and reward type system built into it, where you can wait for more pieces to fall from the top of the board down so that you can establish larger combos. However, it kind of puts you in a bind because if you make any mistakes at that point, the board will fill up and ruin your run. And I love this risk and reward type factor that you constantly have to juggle in your mind. It's important to note that there are 2 styles of play or 2 game modes that you can choose from. One has infinite lives, where if you die trying to match enemies together on the board, then you have to wait to respawn back onto the board. Now, only if the board fills up completely will you have to stop your run and you lose the level you're on. Now, on the other hand, there is a roguelike game mode where you only have 1 life, and if you die in battle, then your run is up, but also if the board fills up, then the level is done. Now, those only deal with the gameplay loop itself, but outside of those 2 methods to play the game, there is also an adventure mode, a versus mode, a daily mode, a weekly mode, feats to complete, and a leaderboard to inspire competition, which is crazy. The controls of Pocket Dungeon are fantastic. There is a swiping control mode, which felt completely natural and great on touchscreen, and that's what I mainly used. And then there's more of a classic buttons on the screen type feel, where there is a D-pad for you to utilize, and those were great too, but man, the swiping is where it's at. Now, there is no in-app purchases in this game because it is part of Netflix's gaming service, and that is the sole reason why it even came to mobile in the first place, and I'm very grateful to have it, but I know that that's a bummer for a lot of you who may not be subscribed to Netflix. I am actually not subscribed to Netflix. I've been bumming it off of my parents, and they just changed the rules to where you have to be under the same household, but it seems to not apply to their gaming service. I'm still using my parents' Netflix account in order to play these games. So if you know someone with a Netflix account, ask if you can use it, or they have a very cheap $7.99 account that you can open up with Netflix that has ads. And as far as I know, that gives you access to Netflix's gaming library. And honestly, for $7.99 a month, it's fantastic so far. And that's not to mention the amount of options and settings that Pocket Dungeon has. It completely blew me away at how many settings you can manipulate and how many things that you can change with the gameplay loop overall to tailor this game completely to your needs. It's amazing. You can never have enough options when it comes to settings, in my opinion. And on top of that, you can play this game in portrait or landscape, and you can switch to them on the fly just by turning your device. It is so fluid, it is so seamless, and I think more games need to implement this. It is done incredibly well. All in all, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is a perfect mobile port in my opinion. This sets the precedent, and this is what every mobile port should shoot for. I have had no issues. It feels completely natural on mobile. It feels so natural even that this feels like a mobile first exclusive, but it's not, which is so cool. And I love the way it blends real-time strategy with match 3 aspects that we've already seen in previous games, and it adds to a risk and reward type system that is so addicting to complete level after level and unlock new things along the way. This is a must try if you love match 3 games at all, and this is worth a Netflix subscription just to try, in my opinion. Call me crazy, but that's how I feel. Alright guys, that was my review of Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. If it helped you out, please leave a like, pop a sub, and comment down below what you think of the game or what you think about Netflix games overall. It would really help me out if you guys do that. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe, and take it easy.